Hey man, what country am I from?
He doesn't speak proper English.
Okay.
Did you say blinding?
So I wanted to ask you a question. And this goes back to what I said before, but do you then think that maybe having sex with lots of different people devalues you or your body or your sex in any way?
I think over an extended period of time, it does. Because I am a firm believer in a whole phase. It's important to not only learn about yourself, but also other people.
Okay.
So, but I believe that whole phase needs to be a whole life? Me personally, no. I'm not trying to live a whole life.
As a hoe.
Yeah.
All right. So
What about
then,
you?
yeah, I do. I do. I think I need to think about this for a second. We can't have it both ways with sex. We try to make it out as this thing that has so much value, and therefore, we have to be so careful about it, especially with men and women and consent and no one taking advantage of the other person. And, we protect our daughters and we protect children. And then on the flip side, we pretend that we can be promiscuous and just sleep with whoever we want, and that should mean nothing. And if we want to be casual and have casual sex, that should also mean nothing. And then if we want to find a partner in the future, how many people we've gone through shouldn't make any difference. And I just think it doesn't make sense. You can't really have one and keep the other, because if we are so sacred about sex, and we should be, because it's very intimate, and I don't think we know how deep it goes, pun not intended, in terms of like human psychology and how it connects a person to another person. And then, I just don't think we can have both, basically. We can't just casualize it and at the same time and just say, do whatever you want and be a slut, and no one should be able to shame anyone for being a slut. And I'm not saying shame people for being sluts, but I'm saying that we can comment on certain sexual behaviors, and we should be able to say that's, something I wouldn't want to do, or that's something I think is bad. And I'm not telling you to stop doing it, but I just don't condone it. And I wouldn't tell because I always think, because I have no other point of reference, I always think, well, what am I going to tell my daughter, right? If I'm to have one.
What is that?
My daughter. I have an I'm from England.
Okay.
Yeah, just
I was about to say, what's a daughter?
to remind you, I'm from England, from the UK. It's fine. So what am I going to tell my daughter, right? But thank you, because the viewers probably didn't know what the fuck I'm saying. And I can't just pretend that certain sexual behaviors I think are completely okay and have no harm, and do you no harm, and do people around you no harm, because I will communicate that to my daughter and say, hey man, if you do this, I don't know, it might be harmful to you, and I don't think this is good in terms of your moral compass, but listen, you still have, the choice to do it if you want to. So that's where I'm at. I'm at expressing your views about sexual behaviors, but you don't tell people what to do, because people can do whatever they want. That's where I'm at. And I do think having, sleeping with a lot of people devalues your body and your sex. And I guess as a last question before we move on, do you feel like the amount of partners a female has might affect how you view her as a partner or as a potential partner?
No, me personally.
Not at all.
Nah, I don't give a fuck if you sleep with 100 niggas.
1,000.
1,000.
5,000.
10,000.
20 minutes later.
10,000, 20,000, 50,000.
Why don't you mind? The people want to know. On the edge of our seats.
Because I need somebody that know how to suck a dick. No, I'm playing. I'm not playing, but
reason.
because I feel like if she is committed to me and she's been obviously, hey, let's get tested.
Yeah.
Let's see if you're clean, I'm clean, this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
If I know in my heart and I feel in my heart that she's committed to me, and that like whatever she did beforehand, that's what she did beforehand. But when she in this relationship, she gonna be faithful. Why would it matter?
I agree. I 100% agree. The only problem is, it's likely that that's not the case, at least from my point of view, if she's slept with 10,000 people. It's likely she's not going to be committed to the next guy that she sleeps with, because she treats sex casually. Do you know what I mean? So to me, I agree that if I can confirm that well, you can only guarantee so much, right? Because people are people, and you don't know
But if you
what's
can
in their
confirm
head.
in your heart and mind,
She might be an axe murderer, you don't know. But if you can confirm and you can feel secure with your person and you feel like they want what you want, they're on the same boat as you, they have the same values as you, and they want to go to the same place, they want to build a family with those values, then yeah, I don't really care about your past. It's just that your past tells me, at least, or tells anyone, so much about what you're likely to do in the future. Behaviors don't just stop. Do you know what I mean? You gotta think to yourself, if someone slept with 100 people in 1 year, okay, do they just don't know how to settle down? Like, what's going on? Like, even if you were an employer and you sat down someone for an interview, like they ask you, oh, look, I see here, you got 7 jobs in the last 2 years, what's going on? Like, they ask you to explain that for a reason. Do you know what I mean? But when we come to sex, for some reason we want to be so fucking liberal, and it's like, nah, dude, think. If someone sleeps with 100 people in 1 year, it's a problem.
what if, of course, some of those were the whole phase, but then what if also it was like, I just necessarily didn't find somebody who I was sexually compatible with.
So I had to try all of these dicks.
But then they say, but with you, I feel very sexually compatible.
Oh, cool. So you didn't say that to the last guy?
I mean, we can
It's
all lie.
It's hard to believe. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to believe. Like that's just
But what
like
if
the
they-
employee saying to
right.
the employer, "I just didn't find the right job, and I think you guys are the right fit." How you know?
Right.
This is interview number
But
one.
that's,
How you
but that's
know?
life. But that's life. You don't know until you
Right,
know.
exactly. But
All
you
we
can
can
use it. You can use what? What were you gonna say? What you can do
All we can do
is
make the best decision with the information.
yes, exactly, with the information. And
That
that's
we
what I'm
have
saying.
at that time.
And if the
At that
information
time.
is
At
that
that
you
time.
slept with 5,000 people, well, that's a pretty damning information, dude.
Yeah, it is. And
That
that's
kinda
your,
makes me
and if
think-
you don't want to be with her, that's your prerogative.
Yeah, yeah, I know. That's why it's my answer. But the point is, it would inform my decision to think. I don't know if I trust. First of all, I don't know if I trust her loyalty. And I
that's
think it should
when-
go both ways. Like if you're a girl and you're with a guy that slept with 100 people in 1 year, you're like, wait, okay, I don't know.
And that's
Does he
when-
have a problem? Is he sexually disciplined? Probably not.
And that's when, if you're like, feel like, man, but I genuinely feel this person, this, that, and the other, that's when you just basically be like, oh, okay, well, let's dial it back upon the sex aspect of things, or let's, whatever, like, slow it down and stuff and all that. And if I can tell that this person is like all about me or committed for a certain period of time, then we can start to take steps to move toward, oh, okay, like, yeah, I can start to take them more serious, this, that, da.
Perhaps. And again, you're right. I'm not saying that I would write off a person completely, but I am saying that it would count against someone who I'm looking at as my potential partner. And I don't know if that's the right thing or the right attitude to have, but it's my opinion that makes sense and is logical. Yeah, so we'll pan the question to you, audience. In the comments below, please answer. What's the most succinct way to give this question? Who drinks anything the way you're drinking it? Stop. Cease immediately. The question is, does the amount of people a person has slept with affect your decision to make them your partner?
Keep in mind, they probably more than likely can fuck the shit out you though. Also,
That's true. Fucking hell.
What if your chick asks in freakiness, it was like, "Hey, like, I want to eat your ass. Would you be open to that?"
I would be open to talking about it, but I think I need some steps before that happens. Like, my asshole is not a nice place. I've seen it. I've looked at it in the mirror. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think.
He said he looked at it in the mirror. This man was bent over in the mirror like, okay. He was winking at himself through his asshole.
let's not put a visual out there, because there's no sexy way to look at your own fucking asshole.
Exactly. I was like, you had to be bent over like spread cheeks like.
Let's quickly zoom past that. Let's not talk about that. But yeah, no. I'll have the conversation, but yeah, I need some steps. I need like a 12-step program before anyone's gonna be up in my arsehole, because it doesn't seem like a fun place to be. But if that's where you want to go, we'll get there. I'll let you
That could be a turn on for her. There are women out there.
Yeah, if it's a turn on for you.
I've been asked before about women like, "Oh, can I eat your ass?"
Yeah.
And stuff like. There are women out there who are really into that. Just really into.
Do you think it's just pleasing the guy? That's what it is? I think it's that.
I
way they're into like maybe getting shit on their tongue, right? Because that's not.
I think it's they believe
Comments,
like.
right?
I think it's they believe like, oh, like I think that I can make it come from this or make it feel good. Like you said, pleasing the guy.
Yeah,
but I also believe that there's a certain level of them being turned on from there being almost no limits. Like if you're saying yes to that, then like the fact that y'all are just so free with each other could turn somebody on.
Yeah. 100%. I think that about anal sex. I think most guys are into anal sex just because it's like another seal they can break. It's not about actually being in the arsehole. It's just about it's a little bit
about being in. I mean,
you like anal sex?
I mean, it's tighter than the vagina.
What's the, excuse my crudeness, what's the texture like? Is it dry?
No, I mean you use lube.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
You use lube. Of course, it's when you're doing like anal sex with somebody, make sure that there is lube involved. Of course, everything is clean and stuff. People showered and stuff. That's sex, period. Make sure people have showered and stuff. Me personally, that's how I feel. Then on top of that, you want to make sure that whoever is the giver, make sure that they're a patient person.
I'm prepared to maybe get shit on that. Schmeckle. Right?
Make sure they're a patient person. Make sure they're like calm, understanding.
Like for their schwanz to be brown.
Just
in case.
You want to make sure that it's all about comfortability, just like a lot of things I would say.
Comfort.
All about. It's what you did last episode, bitch. This is what you did last episode, and we're not gonna stand for it. The Charlie fans aren't gonna stand.
We should have learned our lesson by now, though, huh?
We should have
learned our
lessons. Fans aren't gonna stand for it.
But yeah, comfort is included, definitely. Okay, I have one more question for you, Charlie. All right, so would you ever date someone who had an OnlyFans account or a sugar relationship, i.e. they had like a sugar daddy?
Yes.
Would you date them seriously?
No.
Why not?
I could talk to them, have my fun with them. First of all, the OnlyFans shit, like, would more so be them doing solo content. Like, if they just continuously fucking different people.
Oh yeah, if they're getting plowed. If they're out there just getting...
Yeah, if they just like, every week it's a new person that they're shooting content with, like, no deal. But...
What if it's one person but it's not you?
If I'm keeping it a stack,
Please.
maybe I'm not gonna completely write them off, but it would be understood that obviously I'm doing stuff for other people as well.
Okay, so you would have like an open relationship?
To a degree, yes, to a degree.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but the OnlyFans stuff, like I said, like that. But now, seriously, no, because who knows where that shit could lead. Like, I could have friends, family, or whatever that be like, yo,
Yeah.
like, I can literally see your girl sucking a whole other nigga's dick
Yeah.
on camera and stuff and all that. Like, and at that point, me personally, I'm not like a shamer of like sex workers or this, that, and the other, but me personally, I just don't want my significant other like on camera sucking somebody else's dick, getting fucked, this, that, and other, da, 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 and all that. Yeah, like.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I also don't really have, I'm not a judgmental person, at least. I mean, I am. I think everyone is judgmental, but I'm very much like live and let live. So if you want to do what you want to do, do what you want to do. But at the same time, I know that there are potential problems that come along with that kind of work, especially if you're going to be a mother. And in the future, I don't know. Like, I don't know what kind of problems would spring up because of, a history of sex work or having that on the internet. But there are problems that would come up, and it feels like another problem that I just don't know how to deal with and probably wouldn't want to deal with. So
I mean, there are people nowadays that they suffer repercussions from that, like the porn star Pinky, in case y'all don't know, but Pinky the porn star,
what happened?
her daughter does porn, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Like, and
Is that the consequence?
9 out of 10 times sure that like something to do with it had to do with like her career.
Yeah,
And
but
stuff.
is it bad that her daughter does porn?
The fact that her daughter also had a daughter really young. She had her daughter really young, and her daughter had her daughter really young.
Okay.
And stuff. So I believe that having sex be such a carefree thing in that household,
Contributing to that.
contributing to like that type of stuff, like
That makes sense.
I mean,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
there's that, and then on top of that, like let's even take for instance Kim Kardashian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a clip out there today where I think her son or her daughter was asking like about her dad and stuff, like, oh yeah, daddy got famous because he's a musician, really good with music, da da da, and all that. Like, that's what made him really famous.
Mm-hmm.
And then the daughter asks, okay, so why are you famous, mommy? And she had said, that obviously there was a pause. And so she was like, well, I'm famous for a number of different reasons. She said, I run a bunch of different businesses, da da da. But in reality, we know why she's famous. She's famous
In the first place.
Exactly. She's famous in the first place. What put her on the scene, the map, was the fact that she had a sex tape.
100%.
Like, so.
Yeah, so that's another thing, like having to explain things like that to your kids.
Exactly.
I don't wanna.
Not just kids.
Be asking questions.
Not just kids. It's siblings. It's siblings. Like, I seen another clip one day where this one OnlyFans chick was like, that awkward moment when your brother calls you from college, like frustrated because all his friends see you on the internet getting fucked or whatever, da da da. And stuff. Like,
yeah.
it's, and more power, to people that want to do all that, but just understand that it's obviously going to affect more than just you doing that.
Yeah, and I don't want those problems for sure. Yeah, fuck that. That's a good answer. Okay, Charlie with the good answers today. All right, well that's been the episode. Please answer, I guess, the questions in the comments below. Share your thoughts. We would love to hear them and talk about them. Please subscribe, hit that like button. What else? Comment, share. We have been the Knobheads podcast. David Ekunno and
Charlie Miller.
peace.
Boys, I'm a fool for your love.